KaiJune.
You guys, we're back for KaiJune again. I had a little bit of a break there in the weekend. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to watch any of the films because I went out on a boat and then I went to see the actual Godzilla, Hideki Matsui, at the Yankee Stadium for their Old Timers Day. But I'm back with another review, this time of Gamera vs. Jiger. Don't call him Jiger. That is a racist stereotype for kaiju. But in this one, we reprise the role of Gamera as a friend to all children, and again it continues the tradition of using two children as the main protagonists. This time we have Hiroshi and Tommy, and they are both really similar to the other children that we've seen in the past couple movies. They seem to know a lot more about Gamera than the adults do, and so it's really up to them to save the world when Jiger comes out from his hiding place on Wester Island. Japan and more specifically Osaka are getting ready for the World Expo of 1970, and in this in this film they show all of the World's Expo. We go on a grand tour of it before Jiger even comes out. It's a big deal in Japan. If you know anything about Japan, they definitely do these expos quite a bit, and it has been covered in many different forms of media over the years. So in this one, they want to stop Jiger before he wrecks the World's Fair. It's a big deal. They've been building it for a long time, and that's important to them. More importantly than him wrecking other places in the cities. World Expo takes precedence. What happens is they want to get this strange statue from Wester Island for one of the events that they have at the expo. It is sort of like the Stonehenge statues at Easter Island, and they even bring those up. It's sort of strange and mysterious. They don't know where it came from or what it does, but they just know that it looks cool and they want it in the expo. So what they decide to do is move it by a helicopter from the island to Osaka. Unfortunately, it's not a good idea, and Gamera even tells them. He kind of comes out from his hiding spot, tries to stop them from snagging the statue, grabs it with his hand. They say, "No, don't grab it, Gamera," and they start shooting him. But he is unsuccessful in his attempts to stop them from taking the statue. What happens is it raises the giant Jiger, and Jiger comes to Osaka trying to find the statue. What they later learn is that Jiger actually uses these supersonic waves as his form of defense. They're like little waves that shoot out into a circle area, and they kind of just evaporate everything that's around it. In one instance, we do see him use it on people, and they just kind of evaporate into skeletons. But what happens with the supersonic wave is that since it's such a high-pitched sound, the other side of that is that Jiger, which is actually a female, is very susceptible to the low-pitched sound waves. So the statue emits that sound, and it keeps Jiger at bay. With that, they have to figure out a way to either get the statue back to Jiger so that it will stop him kind of burying him in the ground again, like they did all those years ago, or have Gamera somehow stop him from attacking the expo. What happens is Jiger has some pretty cool defensive moves. Gamera gets the upper hand, but actually Jiger has this needle that's in his tail, that can come out, and he sticks it in Gamera's chest. It implants an egg in his lung. So Gamera is a little uneasy about that. Eventually he does succumb to it, falling over. His his head and his feet crystallize into some sort of ice, and he's left in the water with his mouth open, and they're not really sure what's going on with him. So the kids mount up a plan. Hiroshi's dad is an engineer. He's been working on a new submarine, which can only travel under the water about 3 feet because they're using it for the expo for children. But Hiroshi and Tommy go out into the sub. They actually take it down Gamera's throat, find out that there is a smaller version, a childlike version of Jiger inside Gamera that is stopping him from being able to do anything. They kill that with a radio transceiver which has very loud sounds and noises coming from it. They attach it to his head. He eventually dies, and they get out of there, helping Gamera to get back up on his feet to fight Jiger off once again. For the most part, there's a lot of stuff done in this film just without any fighting, buildings crushed, or anything like that. It's mostly about Hiroshi and Tommy going into Gamera's mouth, figuring out what's going on down there in his stomach, and then coming out to save the day. There's not too much fighting between Gamera and Jiger until the end of the film. About 10 minutes in is when things really start to pick up. There is a few moments before that, but they're not very drawn out. And for the most part, you're forced to sit through Hiroshi and Tommy trying to figure out what to do, claiming that Gamera's the best, that he's going to save the day, when he's still sitting in the water with his head frozen. So it really harkens back to those other films where the children take precedence, and it's not like the first few films where Gamera is destructive to the cities, where the fighting actually takes place with giant monsters. And again, it tries to vary up the approach to the storyline, where this time it is more of like an action-adventure instead of the giant monster film. It's not bad, but it doesn't work out as well as they probably hoped it would, because a lot of moments are really just kind of boring. Them traveling into Gamera, or us watching as they try to figure out another way to stop Jiger. We really don't see a lot of destruction from Jiger until the end. The end actually picks up pretty much, and again, when Gamera comes back, there is a pretty cool sequence where Gamera is not messing around. He takes the statue, he throws it like a spear, and it spears Jiger right in the head. So it's a pretty violent end to Jiger, especially because we know that even if that doesn't kill him from the violent head blow, the noise from it sitting right next to his ears is probably going to just destroy his eardrums anyway. So for Kaiju Carnage, we have about 15 buildings, 4 tanks, 1 ship, and that's not counting in the beginning for the credit sequence. We do get to see stock footage of the other films, so they kind of recap the other films right in the credit sequence. But that's not the Carnage is not counting that. Other than that, not a ton of things that are really worth mentioning in Gamera vs. Jiger. Not a lot of funny sequences. It's more like family monster movie rather than sort of a scary monster movie. But yeah, that's about it for Gamera vs. Jiger. Just another film in a series that has kind of stuck to its formula of put children in and let them try to save the day, showing the adults that they really need to listen to the children and trust in Gamera, because he can do the job. With that, I'm going to end out Gamera vs. Jiger, but don't forget to enter the Gamera Ultimate Collection Blu-ray giveaway by just entering your email address and your name into the MailChimp newsletter sign-up form, and that will put you in to win that. That's all you got to do, and it's going to be ending pretty soon at the end of KaiJune in about 7 or 8 days. I think I got like 8 more days to cover for films, so make sure you get in before that ends. And I have been giving away the Blu-rays for the Godzilla. I have ultraviolet codes for them, so I have been giving those away on my Facebook page at facebook.com/themoonisteadworld. So make sure you go over there to like it, and then keep an eye out, because I will be giving those out throughout the week as I finish off the other films, because I have 3 more that I can give away. So make sure you're checking on that. The last time I did it, all you have to do is like the post, and you're entered to win. So make sure you keep an eye out on that. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with another film, probably Godzilla this time. The song is shitty.